Going on, Knicks fans? It's your boy O, aka the Nickinator, coming to you Monday, April 28th. Uh, what do I have to say? So, amazing game yesterday, amazing game Thursday, terrible game. What was that? Monday when we lost game two. I'll start there. So, we lost game two, right? And a lot of the talking heads going into the series had made comments about the Pistons being tough and scrappy and the Knicks being soft and wouldn't be able to deal with that, and that would make it a series. And some of us actually thought that maybe there was some truth to that because, like I said several times, as the season came to an end, I thought that the Knicks lacked focus at times, especially late, and I never thought that was a hallmark of a Tom Thibodeau team. That hadn't changed for me going into the playoffs. So here we are in game two, and I felt like I don't want to say we gave a game away. They beat us, right? The Pistons beat us in our house, and we have to live with that. We have to own that. But the opportunity was there for that because, like I said, at times this team has lacked focus. In that game too, we didn't see a lot of the aggressiveness that we would hope to have seen by some of our players. I don't even want to get into names or whatever. It happened. It was Monday last week, 7 days ago. We're in a whole different place today. But about that game, right? There just was a lack of aggressiveness and a lack of cohesion and a lack of synergy that really reared its head at the wrong time and allowed the Pistons to go in there, play ball, and take that win from us. So, we leave on that note into the game Thursday night, I believe it was. And that game was amazing, man, because they came out with the kind of focus that you would hope to see from our team all the time. I've heard comments about coaching a great job and this and that. It's not to demean Tibbs or dismiss anything that Tibbs has done historically here, but I didn't see anything. I mean, defensively, there were some things scheme wise with Carl Towns and the Twin Towers. That's a little different, but I think that's more a benefit of Mitch being back, and I will give him credit for that. But what happened Thursday night, I believe that is, I didn't associate that with Tibbs, man. And again, it's not to demean or discredit him. I think the players pulled their head out of their ass and play the kind of ball that we know that they're capable of playing. And it's funny the dynamic right now on Nick's social media where you even have we know that the players are involved. We know that the players are in tune. They got rabbit ears, whatever. We really hope that they don't have such big rabbit ears that they're not locked into what they're supposed to do, because that's what's paramount. But we know that they pay attention, right? And we know that even their family members pay attention because we see them active in the community. So it is what it is. But when you see things on a timeline that you don't like, you don't appreciate, or you feel unfair, it's because of that. Because this is the Knicks, man. We especially the Graybeards. We know what this team is capable of. We know what this team can do when they leave it all out on the floor. And when we see those games where you're not leaving it all on the floor, when you're not in sync, right? When you're not really playing to your ability, you're gonna hear from us. We're gonna squawk because we know that we're better than that, and we want to hold you to that standard. And it may get uncomfortable. Like Anahan says, it's the heaviest jersey in the league to wear for several reasons. This is part of what comes with it, right? Like playing in New York is hard. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, if you're not gonna bring it on every night, you're gonna hear from us, man. So when we talk about that game Thursday, I don't see coaching adjustments or anything. I saw a team that came out to play. I saw a team that brought it to Detroit, and I was glad that we put some points up. I think it was like 118 or one. I forgot 118, 119, whatever. But Carl was on like 30-something points. OG was doing what he was supposed to do. So it's that, right? Like we have to see that energy. We have to see this team locked in. I feel like this camera's crooked. And what happens yesterday, right? Sunday, Little Caesars Arena, totally ready to say, hey, we got one. Let's get back home, whatever. Nah, nah. These guys will not have it. They came out to play, and it's kind of amazing the dynamic that's played out, because that was an ugly game yesterday. It was a lot of talk about the referee, and we can get to that. But there was just a lot of ugly play on both sides of the ball. Deuce hasn't really found his stride. He's had some nice little moments here and there, but he hasn't really been the Deuce that we know. Carl Towns had a couple of amazing moments late. Jalen gets hurt, and for me, Jalen's has his issues with Dennis Schroeder, right? Dennis Schroeder's been able to get away with some things in the playoffs, so I think that's an adjustment for Jalen. And then Jalen gets hurt. Jalen rolls an ankle. I don't know what happens in that locker room, right? But he comes out, and it was like It was like night and day, man, because Jalen was so locked in and he's making big buckets and he's giving Dennis Schroeder the business. And it's like, yeah, this is who we are, right? But now we're in a dogfight, and you see Carl make that turnaround fadeaway, and it just amps you up and it gets you excited because you know what's possible. And then Carl gives you that three, right? And as a Knicks fan, you're hyped because our boys are playing. Our boys are giving us the basketball that we know that they can give us. And you get that ending, man. And that ending, of course, we love to win. Of course, I'll take a win every time, all the time. But to win like that bothers me because then you get all this talk. And people on the talking heads, everything's changed, man. Like there's no real sports journalism doesn't exist anymore. You don't have real conversations. You have things that are about likes and things that are about popularity contests. And you have this, it's like a fake culture when it comes to sports. And the NBA is guilty of it too, because I feel like they kind of went away from a lot of things. They become too WWE, right? It's entertainment. But what I'm getting at, that foul play, right? That final play of the game. What happened there? So Cade had a miss. Cade had a miss that he should have made. He typically would make. Cade is an amazing player. But if Cade doesn't learn to stop turning the ball over, I think he had 7 in the Thursday game and 6 yesterday, or vice versa. They turned over the ball, I'm going to say 14 times Thursday night. And they turned over the ball 17 times yesterday against us. No accountability. Nobody mentions that, right? That game yesterday, they made 7 3-pointers. They shot 24% from 3. Nothing. Nobody says anything. Everything is about this foul. Everything's about, and it fucking pisses me off because in that moment, as far as that foul, a couple things. Josh is closing out. He's darting out. Mikal fell. I don't know how he got on the floor, but he's on the floor. He's trying to get himself up. Tim Hardaway's in that corner. The ball makes it to him. He's locked. He's loading up. Here comes Josh. Josh trips on Mikal's elbow. So he's kind of trying to control. I mean, it's being an athlete, you know, you're running at 100 miles an hour, you get tripped. It's kudos to Josh to have the body control to still get in there in a position to defend. But he was tripped closing out, right? Running full steam, he was tripped. So there's that. The second thing, and this is the thing for me, this is really the thing, because nobody's really talking about it. And Joel Embiid did this last year in the playoffs, where he went foul hunting. He was about 5 feet out, had a clean look. He doesn't take this look. He goes looking for a foul and throws some weak mess at the rim, and it misses, and he doesn't get the foul. And then he's in shock, and he's throwing his hand, and it's all. Now, in that scenario, it's slightly different because I don't think it was a foul. He went foul hunting. What happened with Josh and Tim, there was contact there. That was probably a foul. But it's a decision, right? It's a bang-bang play. If you look at that play, Tim, he catches the ball. Instead of going up clean and taking his shot, and if there's contact, the ref is right there. The ref is literally right there. He's going to see it. What does he do? He catches the ball. He sees Josh is closing in. He resets himself and gathers and leans into Josh to get that contact. And there's no way on earth that the referee sees that and isn't fazed by that, right? And in a bang-bang situation, he's gonna, the refs, they're gonna have conviction in what they saw. Tim, instead of catching it and being pure to his shot, Tim probably mixed that. He's a streaky mofo. We all know this from his time with the Knicks. But that's a shot that Tim probably is going to make. But he chose to go foul hunting. He chose to try to initiate the contact and get the bailout. And boy, don't lie, man. Boy, don't lie. And I think that the reason that played out that way was that. Was there contact on that play? Absolutely. Absolutely, there was contact. Probably should have been a foul, but they just allowed 41 minutes of jail ball. They just allowed 41 minutes of jail ball. So you're going to cry about that? That's what you're going to cry about? Come on, man. Where do you do that at? You just played 41 minutes of jail ball, and it's one time where your man literally resets and leans into the player, doesn't get the call, and doesn't make the shot, and now you crying. For me as a Knicks fan, it pisses us off because it totally dismisses what Jalen Brunson did coming back after injury with Dennis Schroeder mauling his ankle. And it totally dismisses Karl Anthony Towns making 2 of the biggest shots I've seen in playoff basketball in a while. That fadeaway was beautiful. That fadeaway. I've got mentioned with Karl Anthony Towns on the defensive end. Thank God that Tim is using him in a different capacity, something that probably works more in his favor. But that shot was beautiful, man. That shot was a beautiful shot. And I haven't seen anything like that since Ewing. A fadeaway like that over the backboard, and that was just fucking beautiful. That's a big playoff bucket, man. And there have been some things said about Karl Anthony Towns in the past, about his performance in the playoffs. All that shit goes out the fucking window. Because a shot like that, you're not a Bacalao making shots like that. That's a real competitive shot, fading away with the defender. Jalen Duren had his hand in his face. He's probably got contact on the forearm even, but he's got his hands in his face. Shout out to Jalen Duren, who made some of the most boneheaded plays in this series. Good young talent, but he's got some ways to go. I mentioned Cade Cunningham's turnover. That's a big issue. The other thing is Jalen Duren, like the basketball acumen has to get up there, baby. You're raw, you got a lot of skill, but you got to get smart in those scenarios. But anyway, and then Karl makes that three. Shout out to Karl Anthony Towns, probably and Ash, was it Ashley? No, Monica McNutt said it. Probably the best shooting big man in NBA history. I've said it on my timeline plenty of times. I don't think you can really flat out say no, right? Who's you gonna say? Joker? Okay, let's look at the numbers and see what it is. But right now, I would say that Karl Anthony Towns is probably the best shooting. But it drives me crazy that he doesn't get at least 5 attempts a game. I really think it's a crime that in this offense we don't get him at least 5 looks a game. But that to the side, that was a big fucking three in a big fucking moment. Like that just solidifies him for me when it comes to the playoff performance. So great to see that from him. It's terrible that all that gets swept under the rug, crying about the ref. You got Molly Curum crying about the ref. You got everybody in the not even in the city of Detroit, because it's across the country. It's the Knick hate and the Knick bashing. It's fucking annoying, man. And that's why our fans show up the way that they show up and invade your arena. And you have to do whatever you can to keep us from invading your arena, because that's how real we keep it. Y'all the ones on the bullshit, man. Because y'all don't want to acknowledge basketball. Y'all don't want to acknowledge that y'all turned over the ball 17 times. Y'all don't want to acknowledge that you shot 24% from three and probably the biggest game you were facing at Little Caesars Arena in 10 years. In 10 years, it's the biggest game, and you shot 24%. You got to own that shit. That's on you. It's not on us. It's not on the ref. You own that shit. Stop making excuses, man. Yeah, I don't know Detroit. I remember the bad boys, man. I loved Isaiah Thomas. He was a competitor. He was running around with the gimpy ankle in the finals. That's when I really started watching ball. Isaiah was dead nice, man. Joe Dumars was nice, man. They had the microwave Vinny. They brought over Aguirre, but before that they had Danley. They always had some players in Detroit, man. Detroit was a tough, gritty team. I don't recognize. They went from bad boys to Bati boys. I don't know what they're doing in Detroit right now, but all this crying, man, stop that, man. Man up, man. Be about it. Show up tomorrow and let's see what you got, man, and play ball. As I still said the Knicks in 6, and I'm still thinking it's probably going to be the Knicks in 6, because guess what? I'm still living true to my take that my team sometimes, they don't know how to deal with success. My team, this is my challenge to y'all. Show me something. My team doesn't know how to deal with success. My team gets comfortable. My team likes to come out like, yeah, we got this. Like, we champions on paper. Show me tomorrow, man. Because I'm still Knicks at 6. I'm still Knicks at 6, man. And Detroit, you want to talk all that shit? Y'all got an opportunity tomorrow. Let's see what it is. But anyway, Knicks in 6 was my take before the series started. I'm still there. I hope I'm wrong, obviously. I won't be able to be in the arena. There's too much going on right now. I'm going to try and pop out to a watch party at Diamante's. So if you're in the area or you go to the game and you're going to chill afterwards, I'll definitely be at Diamante's for a few. Y'all want to pop out, chop it up, talk hoop. I'll be more than happy to do that. But yeah, tomorrow, man, I'm hoping my boys prove me wrong. I'm hoping my boys stay focused and just really come out being killers and don't come out comfortable and resting on their laurels, acting like they got this, because that's the biggest mistake we could do tomorrow, man. All right, y'all, peace. That's all I got for y'all. Thank you for tuning in, as always. This is a 14-minute video, and I'm tired of talking. So, yo, how do those people do shows? They carry a show for a whole fucking hour. You see that? And it's just one guy. Like Michael K, right? He's got a show and they'll talk for, they talk about different things. It's not like I still couldn't talk. I'm fucking tired. I got a bunch going on. I got to get ready for work tomorrow. But yeah, man, I don't know how people carry a show. It's 15 minutes now and I'm still going to do my raffle. Still raffling off 2 tickets. I'm going to drop the price. I want more people to be involved. I'm going to do it for $25. 2 tickets to the first Knicks game at home. I guess it would be game 3. I forgot the fuck the series is going to be. 2-2, whatever. But the first Knicks game at home, I have 2 seats that I'm gonna raffle off, $25 for 2 seats. I don't think you can beat that. But I want the participation to get up. It's not really about the money, although it kinda sucks if I lose money again. But, it's for the community, man. It's for people to, take part and have that little excitement. The people that were part of the first one who paid $50, you're gonna get an automatic buy-in, so you'll be part of this. And then for those new folks coming aboard, $25, you can't really beat that. I mean, it's a couple of beers at a bar. It shouldn't kill you. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Criticize me. Let me know. Give me criticisms. I want to get better at this shit. So give me some criticisms if you got it. And shout out to the community. Shout out to the social media community. Yeah, man. Peace. Peace, peace, peace.